I've just been taking some photographs for my shop of some new fabrics I'm going to be selling. The spot's not new, but it's back in stock. The bee fabric is such a gorgeous fabric and it's always so popular when I use it to make things, so I've decided to sell that as well, so you can buy that in my shop now. And I've got this new one. I've had it before just as stock for myself and to make things with, but I thought I'd get it in to sell. It's got little cute little dachshunds on it, it's so cute, and it's always a popular one as well, so you can buy that. And I've decided to pop this one in the shop as well. It's not Liberty, but it does look like it. So this is just a thinner cotton, I think it's called a poplin, perfect for patchwork, paper piecing, making clothes or anything, household things. And these ones are the thicker weight ones. As you can see, they're sort of more of a canvas. They're perfect for bags, but they're also great for cushions and aprons. I guess you could make like tea towels out of these as well. You just put a hem on it. Yeah, anything that needs to be a bit more durable, these are perfect for. So they are all in my shop now, and these are other ones that are, they're in my shop as well. I just brought them up so that I could add them into some photographs when I took the pictures for these ones, because I always like to show how they look with other fabrics in the shop, because it's really hard buying fabric online, isn't it, to know what colours match and how well they go. So I always try and photograph things together so that you can see how well they go with the fabrics. So yeah, they're all in my shop now. I've also just spent a wee bit of time cutting out a load of fabric from the sausage dogs. I'm going to do a little sausagey dog update. I think I'm doing some pouches and some bags, just for fun, because I've not had that fabric in for ages, so it's really nice to sew with it again. So I'm going to be doing a little sausage dog update as well. Do you remember a few vlogs back I showed you some labels that I had got a little test done? Well, I was really pleased with them, so I've ordered a whole metre of fabric covered in labels. So I need to get more of the fusible glue type paper now. I've just got some scraps left, so I'm just going to add this onto the back of some of them so that I can make some bags this afternoon, and then I'm going to have to look to see where I can get more of this from. But I just thought you'd like to see the labels all on the whole metre of fabric. It's pretty cool. That'll keep me going for quite a while. I need to figure out how many's on that. I don't actually know. I bet there's about 300. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll let you know. Wow, so I've just worked it out. I've just counted obviously along the top and down the side. The last row annoyingly has got the bottom didn't fit on it, so I didn't count the bottom row. I don't think I did. I thought I was being ridiculous when I said 300. There are 374 labels on here. That will allow me to make 374 products, which is kind of mind-blowing. So it's going to be really interesting to see how long this lasts me and when I'll need to reorder. This is the bookshelf that's in my dining room, and I keep lots of little treasures on here. I thought you might like a closer look. I've got a lot of beachy treasures. I've got a whole jar there of little shells, and I've got little things I found, like really cute shells here. Got a bottleneck. We live near the beach where there were quite a lot of potteries in the town, so we get really good beachy finds. This is a bit of a bottle, probably ginger beer, maybe a ginger beer bottle, and the town is called Crochet, so that's the name of the town there on the bottle. So that was a really nice find. And I've got a little bowl here with more of my little pottery bits. I especially like the bits that's got writing on them, so you can see that that would be the same as the bit I've just shown. Same sort of bottle, and then that one as well. And then I've got this, which was possibly a watering can. Very, very strange. I've got lots of little bits that would be bottles or pots or something. And I'm always on the lookout for bits with writing on them, especially. It's not very noisy. I do try not to bring too much home now because I do have so much stuff. That is the bottom of a pot, but it's got a bit of stamping on it. Some sort of company limited govern, which is over in the west of Scotland, I think. There's another little, like a little jar or something, a pot or a bottle, I don't know. Little logos on things, so if I wanted to, I could go searching to find out what they were, I suppose. This is a really nice little find. I did do a good bit of rooting about online to find this, and it's actually from a little pot. Now, what was it that was in it? Can't remember what it was. I think it might have been toothpaste or something. I can't remember what it was from. I've got photos on my phone from when I found it online, like an intact little pot of whatever it was. I can't remember what it was now. Love finding stuff like that and just the history, wondering about the history of things and where they've been. I've got some more jars up here. As you can see at the back there, I've got one full of pottery. There's another one full of interesting pottery, and one with more shells in. I always mean to make something with them, like mosaic or, you know, something for the garden or whatever, but haven't got around to it yet. Maybe one day. But these are kind of like lots of nature on these shelves, but then I guess that's just the kind of stuff I like. I've got some of my books here as well, like recipe books and nature books and plants, bits and pieces, but it's nice just to look at it, and I find it quite interesting to look at. I guess it is a little bit like the inside of my brain, all the things I'm interested in, all the things I like. And then I've got some plants on the top as well. I was asked just recently what I keep in my storage pouch, which I can barely get shut at the moment. You may have seen me making these, you'll have seen them on my Instagram and in my shop. They don't stay in my shop for long, they are so popular. So this is the one that I made for myself. I used this gorgeous Kidson fabric, which was actually a tea towel, but it's the perfect type of texture fabric that I like to use for the pouches. And I took the label off the tea towel and stitched it on just because I liked it. So I've got a pink button on mine and lovely blue gingham lining, and I just think it is beautiful. So obviously mine is a little bit messy. I haven't edited this at all. I haven't gone through and tidied it before showing you, so some stuff in here has probably been in there for ages and I've forgotten all about it. So let's have a look. We've got lots of pockets in here. So there's a pocket in the top to keep stuff in. It's also slightly padded, so you can put your pins in it, your needles, what have you. I've got a ribbon here, which is handy for attaching things, so you can put I've got a bulb pin there and I can attach stitch markers to it. This is a little fob that is actually for my scissors, so I don't lose my scissors, but it's just beautiful. This was made by a friend who's Ali. She has a business, or she used to have a business called Jammy Pudding and Custard. She doesn't sell anymore, but her stitching is just beautiful. So I put that on there because it meant that I could see it more often, because it just, when I close the pouch I can still see it, so I thought that was nice. I've put a load of these clips on my flap as well. I do sell these in my shop. You can get packs of the big ones or packs of the small ones. They are just so handy for absolutely every single thing that I do, from journaling to sewing. You could even use them on like food packets to keep your food packets shut. They're great for keeping your hexes together, or if you are sewing something that is quite thick and you can't get, you know, your pins through it, just clip the fabrics together like that and then feed it through your sewing machine and remove the clip. Just, yeah, so handy. I like to keep them in my journaling pack with holding photographs together. Yeah, they're just great. So I've kept them on there so that they're easy to grab when I need one. So then you've got this big pocket here which has like pen slots in it, and not only have you got the pen slots, you've got a big bit of pocket space in front of it, and then there's a big pocket here as well. So tons and tons of storage, and they're often referred to as being like TARDISes because you can fit so much in them. I've got a needle minder here which is a magnetic one. This is from Pedro's Plaques. You can find her on Instagram and Etsy. She does ones that have got embellishments on the front, but when I was choosing one for myself I just didn't know what I wanted, so I just got a plain one that looks like a button. I've got one somewhere that has a beautiful like Fimo unicorn on it, and it is gorgeous. I think it must be in one of my project bags because I haven't seen it for a little while. So in the top pocket here it is the perfect size for my needle gauge. So this is for your knitting needles to tell you what size they are. So that's a 4. You can buy these in my shop. Very handy because obviously I've got a big stack of circular knitting needles in here, and it's always near impossible to figure out what size they are because the writing on them is either so small or it's on the wires and it's just so difficult to read. So that fits in there nicely, and I've also got a couple of packets of needles because you can never have too many sewing needles for various projects. So I've just kept them in their packets so that they don't get lost. On the ribbon I showed the little scissor keeper, and I've also got a really tasty looking Millionaire's shortbread, which is one of my favourites. This was a gift, but it's from Chapel View Crafts. She makes all sorts of gorgeous edible looking stitch markers, which just make me hungry just looking at them. I've got a few of these now, but all of which I've received as gifts from various friends, but they're all really lovely stitch markers. So I've got some stitch markers there, and I've also attached some of these. Well, that should be, oh, that's in the pocket, that's because I've got so many, but I've got one of these stitch holders here which are handy when you're knitting things. I've got a whole set of coloured ones here which you can find in my shop as well. Thought it would be really helpful to keep a set to hand in my pouch. So they're in my pouch. What else is in this pocket? Let's see. So I've got packets from some circulars, so I should really put them in the packets. What have I got in there? A needle threader. I might put that in the top pocket beside the needles actually. That would be helpful. I think I did have some other stuff in there, like embroidery stuff, but I took it out a little while ago because it hadn't been used for such a long time. It was kind of pointless having it in there. So that's some space I've got in there. I used to keep my little mini set of scales in there, like when I was weighing little balls of yarn, but it was just all getting a bit too bulky. So I took them out and put them in a lovely little handmade pouch that I got as a gift. So in the front here I've got some crochet hooks. I made this one myself on a yarn retreat. We got to make a crochet hook, so it's the size 3.5, which is my most used size, and I love this one. Like, it's just so comfy to use. It's got like a little thumb indent there. Just love it. And yeah, it's just all swirly. This one was part of a swap that I did with someone years ago. It's a size 4 and it's really nice as well with some polka dots on it. And I've got various knitting needles in there, like circulars, because as soon as you finish a project, I just stick them in there. I do stick them in the slots. I've got a crochet hook in there as well. I should put that in my crochet hook case, because I went to look for a crochet hook the other day in a different size and I couldn't find it, so I had to go rooting about all my old project bags and eventually found what I was looking for, so I should really put that away. I've got a pen. These, I did have these in my shop, I think they've just sold out. These have got that lovely soft rubbery grip to them, they're so nice, and it is actually green ink as well. And then I have got some scissors. Always need scissors. I've got so many pairs of scissors kicking about everywhere. I'm getting in a right angle, and I've got a little pin. That's a pin badge. I had them in my shop at one point. I haven't got any left. I'm going to have a tidy up after this, I think, because I'm getting in the right mess here. And then have I got anything in the front? Nope, I haven't got anything in the front either, so it's not actually that full, but you get the idea of what you could fit in it and how much it would actually hold, because I've still got space in mine, plenty of space for anything else that I need to put in there. My little notebooks that I sell also would fit in here too. I do tend to use them when I'm taking photos for Etsy. So if you have a look, if you want to see what else you can use them for, you can look on my Instagram feed. You'll see lots of photos of them just set up with examples of what you can use them for. And yeah, every time I list one in my shop, it's full of stuff that I've taken out of like shop stock, just to show you what fits and give you ideas of how to use them. But you could also use it to keep journaling stuff in. They'd be great for your stickers, your journal. You could keep plenty of pens in there, etc. So perfect for that. They'd be great for kids for colouring in and drawing, and keep their pens in here. I'm making such a mess. Right. And they close with a magnetic snap. The button is just for show. I think my stitch holders there are what is preventing it from shutting very well. So yeah, it just closes with the magnetic snap and stays shut and keeps all your belongings nice and safe. It is all very lightly padded as well. So for example, the knitting needles that are in there, or if you had DPNs in there, they wouldn't poke out the bottom because it's got a bit of pad in there. And it's got the sort of, this pocket's kind of extendable, so you have got tons and tons of space in there. I've got some more about to go in my shop update, which I'm doing. I'm doing everything in this sausage dog fabric, so got some nice line in there with bones, got a floral one, and then a purple. So these are going in the shop soon. I do intend to make more, just have to keep an eye on my shop if you want to get one. They do go really quickly. I can let you see what they look like empty without any stuff in them. So as you can see, they just look so nice and clean and just ready to be filled. I think for a lot of customers when they buy them, the joy of actually filling them is just like so much fun. So you can see there all the pockets, and then you've got the pen slots there too. Yeah, so this has got the doggies. I've got some bags that are about to go in the shop as well, so you can have a matching items if you like Dachshunds, sausage dogs, wiener dogs I think they are called in America too, which is really funny because we don't call sausages wieners in this country, but it's a funny word. And these have all got my new label in them. So I'm going to make one more thing, I think, with the doggy fabric, and then I'm going to get all this lot photographed. I do need to sew the buttons on the front of the pouches, so I've got 3 of those to do, and then I'm going to be taking photos of the doggy stock and getting it uploaded into my shop for an update, hopefully tomorrow night, which is Tuesday the 31st of May, which will possibly have passed by the time you see the video. I'm not sure when I'm going to get the video out, but I thought you'd like to see what I was making. It's one day before June. It's May the 31st, and look at that weather. So cold. I've just had to go and dig out a really cosy jumper to put on because I just had on a wee thin cardigan and it's been so cold. I think I'm going to have to put some cosy socks on as well, but this is just not what I ordered for the end of May. Hopefully it gets better over the next few weeks because it's been really cold lately as well, like quite a lot lately, so I just want it to warm up so I can sit in the garden and enjoy it. But right now I'm going to wrap up and get all cosy, and it's kind of hot water bottle weather. I'm so cold. Cozy jumper though, super fluffy. And I've just done a photo shoot of all the products that I've got made with the doggy fabric. These baskets were what I wanted to make yesterday, so I've made up a couple of baskets. These are so nice for like storing yarn in or projects and stuff. I did have them full of skeins of yarn for the photos, and I forgot to take a video. That was silly of me. So I've done one with the spotty cuff and handles and one with stripes. Which do you like better? I think I like the spots, but I do love the stripes. So I've just taken photos of everything. I've got some project bags in here, some small ones and some large ones. The small ones have actually turned out a really nice size for like cakes of yarn because I've got such a square bottom. I accidentally actually ended up cutting the bottoms the wrong size to what I intended, so they've ended up a bit squarer, which has actually meant that they are, as I said, perfect for like a cake or two of yarn. So they are, yeah, everything's going to be in my shop tonight. Today is Tuesday. So yeah, I keep seeing my blanket sitting here. I leave it there when I'm doing photo shoots sometimes, and I really must get back to making it because it's so beautiful. It's lovely. I have lost my crafting mojo a little bit at the moment, I must say. Apart from doing work sewing, I haven't really been doing very much personal crafting at all. Haven't knitted for ages. I need to get that back. I need to find my mojo. Here's a bird's eye view of the garden just now. It's looking very green and very full. A bit noisy because we've got a road behind those trees. I was trying to get the rain to show you, but you can't really tell. You can see it hitting off the shed roof and the bird bath down there. I need a few more things to come into colour. You can see my peonies over here, the red ones. They have burst open. I tend to find them, I'm trying to find my finger, they don't tend to last long, and I think when we get rain like this they just get battered about. And I've got some geraniums. These are actual geraniums, not to be confused with pelargoniums. And I've got these beautiful blue, they're called centaurea I think, they're like a perennial cornflower. And then at the back there, gosh, excuse my finger, there are some Granny's bonnet, which is Aquilegia in colour as well. There's more of the centurion, and that little red dot is a little, is that primrose? Petunia, I always get mixed up, it's one of those anyway. I've got a nice clematis climbing up the fence there. It did get battered about last week and snapped quite a few of the longer stems. They were going over the fence, so I've now tried to tie them in a bit better because I'd left it too late to tie them in, and then I couldn't move them without snapping them, but then they got snapped in the weather anyway, so that'll be beautiful. Late summer, it has really deep sort of fuchsia flowers and looks stunning. Looks really beautiful, and it does tend to climb over the trees in the back of on the back of the fence there, which is fine because it means I can see them, the flowers. I maybe need a bit more trellis, I think. But the garden was really dry this week because we've had such heavy wind, like really mad wind, and a lot of my pots were just looking so dried out. Especially I've got a big hydrangea over here, there. It was actually drooping. What a shame, so I gave it a good water and a bit of food as well. Here's my strawberries. This is the flower patch. This is hollyhocks, which I sowed last year, which are biennial, so they don't flower the first year you sow them. They are perennial though, so they will last now. They won't die off. Well, I mean, they'll die back, but they'll grow back every year. So I'm looking forward to seeing those. I've never had them before, but they're looking enormous already. And I've got a few other bits and pieces dotted about down there, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that does. This is some sage, which just takes over when you put it in the ground, but I can never grow it very well in a pot. There's various wooden things all around the garden. Joshua just likes to play with wood and tools, and he builds things. A little robin on the fence there. Where's it gone? I've lost it. Oh, it's flown off. So yeah, it's a pretty wet and dull day.